All right, welcome back to the channel. It's time for a food and conversation. I haven't done one of these for probably 6 or 7 or 8 weeks now, and we're going to be watching another Bonanza. And this one is going to be episode 177 from season 6, and it's called Between Heaven and Earth. And this is an episode that I saw as an adult, probably when probably in a rerun, because I don't own season 6. I own season 5, 1 through 5. And this is the last season that Adam was in the show. But this one is going to primarily be about Little Joe. And something happens to Little Joe, and I don't want to give it away, but a very similar thing happened to me. I had to deal with the same problem that Little Joe's going to deal with when I was 22. And it came as a big shock to me, and it was a real problem for a long time, but no longer a problem. So I don't want to give it away, but once we get to that where you know what's going on with Little Joe, I'll talk about it and share my experience with that. So today's dinner is an old favorite that I was eating back about that time. I ended up in lots and lots of debt, and that didn't have anything to do with the show. And when I was 22, when I broke my leg, I ended up with thousands and thousands of dollars in medical bills. And I was paying like $10 or $20 a month on it. That's all I could afford. I was flat broke, and at times I was trying to live off of $5 or $10 a week food. And this was one of the ways I did it. By an old favorite, I have not had this in a long time. That is pork and beans and wieners. And I've had that lots and lots of times in the past, but not anymore. And sometimes if I could afford Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese, that's what I would have. This, of course, is not Kraft Dinner. And, it's just, it's what I had to do. And I had to do that for a great deal of my life because I suffered from financial difficulties up until I was 50 or so years old. But it got me through. So that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. It smells good, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's get started with Bonanza. First time I've done this for a while. So let's see what we got here. That's a nice view. We'll get pretty close. All right, here we go. Bonanza Between Heaven and Earth. Very little hoss in this. And there's Little Joe. Little Joe is struggling. So season 6 would have been in 1965. So I would have been 5 years old. I don't remember having seen this as a young kid. I might have, but I don't remember it until much later on. Kind of get the idea of what he's going through here. This is a delicious dinner, but not very nutritious. That's a very specific desert rock that was used in many westerns, but I have no idea where it's at. Probably Mojave, or what the name of it is. I should look that up. Oh no! Well, that's good. He's just having a bad dream. That's a pretty bad dream. This is good.
Yeah, Pop, all right, I'm sorry.
This is something I want to have a couple times a year.
You've been having quite a few of these lately, Joe. Yeah, you don't have to tell me, Pop. You want to come downstairs, have something to eat, talk about? There's nothing to talk about. I can't remember anything. Can't remember anything that you dreamt?
I had a good night's sleep last night.
All I know is I have a bad dream.
But I woke up with a terrible bad dream. But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But it's bad enough to make me get up and walk around before going back to sleep, and then I felt good.
Pleasant dreams.
And this is kind of how I felt last night. As you see little Joe here, sitting on the bed, looking at the bed, thinking, I don't like you anymore. I felt just like that last night. And I don't have a clue what my dream was about. That's absolutely how I felt. After about an hour or so of sleep. Oh boy, this is really good. I'm glad I made this. Of course, I can get 3 more meals out of this. So that actor on the left is Mitch. His name is Richard Jekyll. And my dad, if my dad were watching this right now, he would say, I met and shook hands with Richard Jekyll. He always claimed to have done that. I don't know whether he did. But he was raised in Los Angeles.
Who's next here?
Whittier.
Hey, Cartwright, how come you never challenged a
And he
champ?
lived there till he was about 25. So he definitely could have.
Nothing to prove. You afraid he might take you? Look, I'm not asking for any arguments. Look, I'll be back next Friday. You hear? I'll take on all comer. Except your pal Cartwright, huh? I said I'm not asking for any arguments, but I'm not running away from one either. Now, don't forget, you boys, you practice real hard. Bring plenty of money next Friday, huh? Come on, Joe.
Richard Jekyll's also in one of my favorite crummy old flying saucer, not flying saucer, but crummy old monster movies called The Green Slime from 1969. It's such a stupid movie. It's very entertaining
that
to
Ken
watch.
fella, Joe. He was trying to stir up a little trouble between you and me, wasn't he? I'm sorry about that. I'll forget it. There's nothing to be sorry for. Like I said, we got nothing to prove between us. Yeah. Besides, you're unbeatable, champ. Absolutely unbeatable. Yeah?
So there they are
Over your head here. Glad we get a little top action.
at the rock in question.
Hey, Mitch, look.
There is a
Well, that puma
puma.
was feeding out your sheep herd last week, Joe. Let's get it.
That must be some kind of a desert mountain lion. So I'm sure we don't have any of those around here. We do, however, have bobcats, and have had bobcats come down into town, as well as black bears and coyotes. But I don't think we have pumas. That rock formation was also used in a Star Trek episode.
We better forget about it for now, Joe.
Nothing doing.
He's liable to be in the brush waiting to jump on you.
Yeah, I just hope he is. That way I can spot him. Right up there at Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest.
That's a pretty rough climb, Joe.
No, but I'm a tough guy.
But I want that cat.
Can tell you how good this tastes in so long since I've had it. He is climbing way up there. This must have something to do with that bad dream he was having. If I remember right, Richard Jekyll died fairly young from a heart attack. Wow, he got way up there. Just remember, you got to be able to come back down that. So what's he gonna do? He takes and throws his gun up there. Nobody would take and throw their nice rifle like that. For numerous reasons. That's a whole different scene now.
Joe! Joe!
Okay, here we go. Now we know what the story's
I
about.
missed him, Joe, but you're gonna have a clear shot at him. He's coming right underneath you, Joe.
I don't know if I can finish all this. So good.
He's coming your way, Joe. You want to have a clear shot at him. Heads up now. Right underneath you, to your right. Joe, there he goes. Joe? Joe, are you all right?
No, he's not all right.
Joe, are you all right? Yeah.
He is having anxiety. And he can't climb up there to get his gun. He's going to climb back down without his rifle. It's not something that they would do back then. A rifle was very important.
Yeah. Right on through, went over Clement's Ridge.
How come you didn't take a shot at him?
I dropped my gun.
Well, all right, let's go back up and get it.
Oh, forget it. It's a long climb. I'll get it tomorrow.
What do you mean, Joe? Forget it. It's an expensive rifle. Come on.
It's my rifle. I said forget it.
Now he's hiding the
What?
fact.
All right, whatever you say, Joe. I'll see you Friday.
Looking at your gun from down there isn't going to go up and get it. Isn't going to bring it down. He's got anxiety now.
What's the matter with your brother Joseph?
Oh, Pa, you know, Joe, sleeping's his favorite pastime.
Yeah,
All right,
got all that work to do to lump us loose.
we'll go one more minute
That's quite a chore. It's like wrestling with a
and
angry
watch
old bear.
Hoss eating.
And I just go wake him up.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Pa. Same to you, big brother Hoss. Well, weather's clear, sunny, like they say, top of the day. Sky's clear, sun's shining, I slept like a lamb, and I'm hungry as a bear. Pass me some of those eggs. Well, what's up?
You?
Me?
You know, what's all this cheer and bright and shiny before your breakfast coffee? Is this the new you?
Well, don't try to spend your brain figuring me out. Just take care of the inner man. But first, let me have some eggs. Nice. Hey, where's the plate with the Ponderosa this morning?
If you're referring to your brother Adam, he left on time.
Oh,
All right, 15 minutes. We will definitely pick it up there next time. So, the cat's out of the bag. Joe experienced anxiety. I likely experienced it before the main incident that I had. I'm sure I must have at some point. But I was 22 years old, and it was around April. And I was living at a house with roommates. And one of the roommates had his pilot's license, and he had access, to a small plane. And we were going to go flying. He was going to take me up in his plane. And I was kind of nervous about it, but I was excited, and I wanted to go. So the day that this was going to happen, we went out to breakfast with some others. And as I was sitting there in the restaurant eating, I started having anxiety. And I started getting scared because I was nervous about the airplane flight. And man, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I don't know what. I was completely overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. I was only 22 years old. And, or 21, almost 22. And I didn't know what to do. So it was time to go and get in the car. And I think we got in the car, and then I finally just said, look, I'm not feeling very good. I think I need to just go back home. And he was really puzzled, like, what? And I was very embarrassed, but I was absolutely having an attack. And this was really, really powerful. So he took me back home, and I didn't go in the house, and I believe he did. And I went outside and out back behind the garage, and there was some outbuildings out there. And I felt like I just wanted to heave up. I thought, man, I remember on the drive back, I like had a hold of the door handle. And I was ready to open up the door and just start heaving up. That's how I felt. Anyway, I hung out in that outbuilding back there. And the whole time, I just felt like, it scared the tar out of me. And I guess I didn't really realize it at the time. It was anxiety. And then this would haunt me for a while. Anytime I suddenly, I guess the next time it happened, it was either at the dentist or at the barbershop. And it was my turn to get in the chair. I think it was at the barbershop. And I got in the barber chair and I was committed to sitting there having the thing around me. And I started feeling anxiety for no reason at all. And all I wanted to do was just get up and leave. And I had to just sit there for the longest time, having my hair cut. And it was so uncomfortable. And then I would be afraid to go to the dentist's office, having to sit in the dentist chair or ride in a car with anybody. And, this affected me for quite a while. But, I grew out of it, or, I got past it at some point because there were just things I had to do. I had to go do this or do that, and I had to go to work. And so eventually it just went away, and I haven't felt that anxiety like that anywhere near that strong for many, many years. Like tomorrow I'm going to the doctor's office, and I'm going to be a slight bit anxious, but it won't be anywhere near enough that would keep me from going. Like I could not go on, that flight. And there were times I couldn't go to the barber shop and sit in the barber chair or ride in a car with somebody, and so I had to be driving. And same thing with the dentist. There for the longest time I couldn't commit myself to sit in the dentist chair. So that's my little bout with anxiety. That's crazy thinking about that. It's funny now, but man, thinking back to the way I felt, it wasn't funny at all. So comment down below if you've had to deal with such anxiety and how you got past it. I don't know how I got past it. I knew I had to do things and I had to do it. So, and now I don't really remember what it was like to feel that anxiety. So anyway, enough of that. You know what the episode's about, and we'll come back probably tomorrow, maybe for breakfast or lunch, and certainly for dinner, and continue on with Bonanza between heaven and earth. So that's going to be it for now.